Look at all this, everyone. Kind of the history of cameras, at least in my view of them. I have a kind of some of my older cameras that I've used for decades currently. Some of them are not here because I've sold them off, of course. But what you see is film, a Pentax Espio 140M. Kind of an older, it is an older film camera that I used to use a lot in college and decades ago, and I haven't used it since, and probably barely even know how. But interesting, and all film. Wait forever to get your film developed. You got like 3 pictures left on the roll. You don't want to waste it, so you don't. You don't ever take those last 3 and just wait forever for your vacation photo. So I'm glad we moved on from that. Expensive, quality in my view wasn't that great, at least with this camera. Merged on to video cameras in my history of cameras here. Some things in parallel, but started playing with video a lot. And I actually got this video camera in Japan. I was in Japan and got the camera here. So this is a Sony Carl Zeiss, what's the model number? DCR PC 115. This was a Japan export model, so the model number would be a little unique. Not a bad camera. It's standard definition, not anywhere, no P anywhere, right? So it's not DVD, barely DVD quality, and certainly not Blu-ray or high definition at all. Had the night shot on here, it was kind of fun. Small, portable. It took pictures using Sony's SD memory cards. All in right now. It still works. Took the cassette format down below here, but doesn't even compare to the quality of my iPhone 4. So, and then I had the Sony DSC S70 digital still camera. This was the early days of the point and shoot digital camera era. The digital cameras had been out for several years ahead of this, but I think at this stage I thought they really started picking up in quality, and it's oddly kind of unique here. This one had, let's see, probably 3.3 megapixels camera here, USB, MPEG movie, digital zoom, optical zoom, so 3.3 megapixels. And the interesting thing is this one has really high quality pictures. They're not large, but I think they really did a great job with the lens here. It's Carl Zeiss. It's big brick now, but I'll have to say that this one is probably 10 to 12 years old, probably older than that maybe, and really good photos come out of this still. I mean, they're not large, they're not like a DSLR, but for point and shoot, the quality is really nice. I have some nice photos that I took in Paris with this. And then in between here, I kind of had a missing camera. I started working with Canon DSLR, the first digital Rebel that came out. Get one of those used if you are limited on funds. Those are great cameras. You can use different lenses with it. They're high quality. So I had that kind of in between here. And then also missing is I moved up from the digital Rebel to the Canon 5D, the first 5D, which is a great camera. Didn't do any movies at that time, and I liked it a lot. I took tons of photos with that. There's some variety of other point and shoots in here that I sold off or gave as gifts. But then I had the Canon S90, and this is one of the first cameras that was marketed as this point and shoot, but we're going to give you professional level features. We're going to give you the manual controls, the jog dial here, the front. We're going to allow you to capture photos in RAW. We're going to put on a little bit of video abilities. But ultimately, this one suffered from the small sensor size. You know, it just doesn't have that background blur, the quality of photos, and actually was pretty disappointed on this camera here. For point and shoot at the time, you know, you read all the websites. There's several new versions of this one, but for point and shoot, this one was highly recommended and had great ratings. It's just that if you're already using a DSLR and you go back to looking at these point and shoot images, you're going to be disappointed. And as far as I'm concerned, yes, it's nice working with the raw photos on this, but the quality differences between my camera phone and this one, they're, you know, price performance ratio here, it's the camera phone is almost a little better here. It's always around, you know, I have to carry this too. So anyways, then I moved up recently to, well, it was actually in this order. I got the Canon 5D Mark II, and all my videos out on YouTube are basically done with this. This is a great camera. It's getting old in itself. It has not an ideal focusing system relative to current cameras out there. Still top of the market right now for HD, DSLR usage, movie usage. A lot of shows and films use this camera to capture footage. I think Iron Man 2, what else? Captain America had some footage done with this camera. There's the show The House. They had a lot of footage done with this camera. It's used for professionals. You know, it's a professional camera. Very nice. A lot of wedding photographers use it because it's full frame. Highly recommend this one, but I would maybe hold off until the next version at this point, or get one used. Get one used. There's going to be a lot of these cameras are going to be flooding the market because there should be a new version coming out soon. So then I kind of wanted something that was kind of a blend between the DSLR and the point and shoot, and I wanted a smaller size and have something that's easier to transport and not necessarily fiddle with all my lenses all the time. So I got this Fuji X100, which the unique thing here is, you may have seen on my other videos, it's all about sensor size. So this one has an APS-C size sensor, and so it's this equivalent size as the Canon 7D. Means it's basically a big sensor, not as big as the full frame here, but as big as other DSLRs out there. And this is a pretty handy tool that you know, I can use for high quality photos, limited in size, and no fiddling with lenses. It has some down flaws and it's kind of expensive, but the quality is very nice on this. So that's kind of the history of cameras here. You know, it's ranked by sensor size. You know, I don't know how to treat the film camera, but you know, you have these point and shoots over here. Always point and shoots are going to have the smallest of sensor sizes. Then you have the APS-C, and then you have the full frame. So to some extent, folks, when you're shopping for cameras, forget about megapixels to some extent and focus on sensor size of cameras. The bigger the sensor size, the better the quality, the better the overall image. So hopefully that was a fun video.